Hello, beaders. Welcome to Beachside Bead Boutique. My name is Jerry. Today, I am super excited because I have a curated bead box here for the month of June, and we are going to open this up and see what's in here, and I will give you my opinion, some design ideas. So let's go ahead and open this, and this is Smoky Amethyst. So we have beautiful pinks and purple. So I'm very excited because I know I've told you before, pink and purple are some of my favorite colors. Well, all colors. I love color, but pink and purple are actually pretty much my favorite. So let's go ahead and open this and see what's inside, and also stick around to see what I design from the contents of this box. So we only have 3 strands to look at, and then everything else is bead mixes and little bags and stuff like that. So, I mean, we still have plenty of stuff to look at. I mean, the usual, how they have it every month. But yeah, so just 3 strands. So the first strand is this really pretty, beautiful purple. And this is 8mm purple gemstone style glass bead. And this is a 10-inch string. So we have a nice long strand. Very pretty purple. Told you I love purple. Very nice because we do have a little bit of color variation and a little bit of crackle in there. So it's very pretty. Nice purple. It's a very pretty color purple. And then next we have really pretty 8mm fuchsia green dual style glass bead. And this is another 10-inch string. But look at this gorgeous color. I mean, I love the fuchsia with some light pink with the beautiful sage green, and then some lighter green with the swirls of pink. I mean, look at that. It is very pretty. I love pink and green together. That looks very pretty. I really like that. And then next we have this really pretty gray strand, and this is 8mm gray brown gemstone bead, a 7 to 8-inch string. So this is more of a matte. We have some gray and black swirl with a little bit of creamy brown. Very nice. And yes, this is making this look smoky. Smoky Amethyst. Okay, and then we're going to go to a glass bead mix. We have approximate 1 ounce amethyst designer bead mix. Oops. So we have some really pretty purple and pink. We have seed beads, and then this is like a little rondelle. We have a couple shapes here. We have a barrel bead with the black and the silver. Very nice. I like this bead mix. Yeah, I like that we have some of the seed beads and then some larger and different shapes. So I always do like that. Very pretty color. And next we have approximate 1 ounce black silver designer bead mix. We have some really pretty black and, what did it say, black and silver. That is very pretty. I mean, it's nice and faceted. So of course we have shimmer, and then we just have some smooth rounds with the black and silver, but it does have a little bit of a luster on it. Very pretty. I really like these. I think that is very nice. And we have a nice size hole. So I do like that. And this one also has a very nice size hole. Very good. Yes, these are very pretty. Smoky Amethyst collection. And then next we have approximate 2 ounces, 12 by 8 millimeter crystal peanut beads. Don't know if you can see that. You probably cannot. Let me break out my turtle. There we go. These are pretty. So yes, it has the shape of a peanut. Let me see where the hole is. Okay, so the hole goes through the middle. You see that? Let me see. Okay, so here's the hole. And again, this is a nice size hole as well. If you could see that, but these are very pretty. I like the shape of them. Very pretty little crystals. So next we have 20 millimeter length black tube glass beads. We have 10 beads. So we have some really nice tube beads. So you see the hole goes the length of the bead. These are very nice and smooth. Really like those. Yes. Very smoky. And next we have 14 by 10 millimeter black twisted oval glass beads, 8 beads. So we have lots of black, and it is very nice. It's faceted. Well, I guess it's considered faceted. It says twisted. It's a nice size bead. We have a nice size hole. Look at, you could see right through it. Yes, very nice. Okay, now we have some more black beads. We have 16 by 12 millimeter black oval glass beads, and we have 5 beads. So we have some nice size oval beads. It looks like a little olive, right? It's like the perfect shape for an olive. Again, with a nice size hole. I mean, they said smoky. They really meant smoky. And then next we have 42 by 38 millimeter Tree of Life pendant. So that is nice. That's different. I don't have something like this. Yes. So it's the same on both sides. And then, of course, we do have our little loop at the top, so we can dangle it from our project. Very nice. And then they also gave us 0.8 millimeter silver wire for bead wrapping. So that's very nice. You can always use some wire, and I do like to wrap. And oh no, I already messed around earlier when I opened this and had this coming off the spool, and I got it fixed. Okay, anyway, oh boy. So yes, they gave, I don't know what gauge it is. It says 0.8 millimeter, but very good because they did give us how to make a miniature beaded wire tree. So to use the Tree of Life pendant. So that's why they gave us the wire, is to wrap that pendant. So that was nice. And then they give the instructions on how to do that. And then, of course, with every curated bead box, you do get a finding starter kit. So this includes jump rings, a lobster clasp, crimp tubes, stretch cord, beading wire, eye pins, memory wire, ear wire, and I think that's about it. So pretty much everything you need to get started right out of the box. So that's why one thing extra about Curated Bead Box that I do like, if you don't have these supplies, then it's just easy to get started because they give it to you. So then all you need is your jewelry tools because you have, the whole collection of beads that's curated to a specific theme every month. Of course, it's a different theme. So then they always give you several bead strands and loose beads, bead mixes. They give you pendants. And yeah, so it's a really nice collection. Like I said, it is curated to a different theme every month. And it does get your creative juices flowing because they pair things maybe you wouldn't necessarily think would go together. So it just, kind of helps you out because everything is in one nice little box. And if you subscribe to Curated Bead Box's monthly subscription, it is only $20 a month, which includes the shipping. So it is a very good deal. And if you use my code, Jerry35, you can receive 35% off your first month's box. So then it makes it an even better deal. And I will link Curated Bead Box in my description box so you can check them out and see if it is right for you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get everything cleaned up and I'm going to come up with a design. And we are going to create a pair of Smoky Amethyst boho earrings, and I'm going to use these wood blanks as the base. So what I'm going to do is take a purple marker, and this is a acrylic marker, and color my wood base with the marker. And we are going to color both sides. I am going to cover the base with fabric, but I just wanted to color it with the marker just so you won't see the wood base underneath. And now I'm going to take a marker to put 3 little dots because I'm going to use a drill to drill holes in the wood blank because I want to dangle my chaos clusters from the wood blank. So I'm going to mark where I want to drill my holes. I'm taking my little drill, which is also a rotary tool, and placing it on my wood blank where I put the marks. So the drill is going through the wood pretty nicely. There we go, we have one hole. And then I'm going to turn it around and do the other side as well, just to make sure that the other side, has a smooth finish to it. And I'm just going to continue to drill all 3 holes. Next, I'm going to take a bottle so I can trace it to draw 4 circles because we want to use this bandana to cover the wood blank. So I need 2 for each earring. So I'm just using the bottle as a guide to trace a circle because you want your circle to be bigger than the wood blank. And next I'm going to cut out my circles. And this doesn't have to be exactly perfect because we are going to shred the ends of the bandana anyway. And next I'm going to take a paintbrush and brush some Mod Podge on my wood blank. And that is to put the bandana onto the wood blank. So all you need is a thin layer of the Mod Podge. And next I'm going to take my bandana circle that we cut and stick it onto the wood ring. And I'm going to place the wood ring in the center of the bandana. And make sure you stick it good. Keep pressing it. Make sure it's stuck. And now I'm going to take my bead reamer and push it through all the holes before we put on the other bandana piece, because then we won't know where the holes are. So we have to do it this way. And now I'm going to add a little bit more Mod Podge at the end of the edges of the ring. So you just where the fabric is, because you want to make sure that the fabric is stuck the whole way around. And then I'm going to go ahead and place my other bandana round onto the wood ring. I'm going to brush the edges of my wood blank with some more Mod Podge to make sure that the ends are sealed. So just pull back the fabric a little bit and seal the two pieces of fabric together. And I'm going to take my bead reamer and push it through the holes in the fabric that we made so that we can make the holes on the other side of the fabric. Okay, and aside from our wood ring that we put together and the materials that we use for that, you are going to need some bent nose pliers, needle nose pliers, round nose pliers, and flush cutters. This is the bead selection that I have from Curated Bead Box. So we're not going to use all these. I just went ahead and poured some on my little seashell dish. You will need a few 10mm jump rings, and then I have one, I believe this is probably a 12mm jump ring. You need something that is going to be big enough to put around here. And then also you will need an ear wire, and then I have one really small jump ring. You will need some silver head pins and eye pins, and then I have a pair of scissors. And that is basically all that we're going to need. So let's go ahead and get started and assemble our earring. So first we're just going to make a few chaos clusters to dangle from the earring. So we're going to go ahead and do that while this continues to dry from the Mod Podge. I'm going to go ahead and load some of my beads on an eye pin. I'm using some larger and some of the smaller seed beads. I like a lot of dimension, different shapes and sizes, and some different colors. So I have, you know, some of the black and then some of the brighter pink and purple. And now we're going to make a wire wrap loop. So I'm taking my round nose pliers just a little bit above the last bead, bending that toward me, and then bending it back around the top ring. I'm taking my pliers out and repositioning the loop on the bottom ring, and I'm going to wrap the shorter wire around the wire that the beads are on. So that forms our loop. I'm straightening my loop out, and then I'm going to take my flush cutters and cut that remaining piece of wire and then tuck in any sharp edges. Now you guys know I don't make neat wraps, so it's just haphazardly wrapped. And you could do it neat if you want to. It's all up to you. I'm just giving you the inspiration. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing using different beads. Now using my round nose pliers slightly above that bead, I'm going to bend the wire toward me and then bend it back around the top ring. take my pliers out and reposition to the bottom ring, and then wrap that shorter wire around the wire that the bead is on. Take my flush cutters, cut the end, and tuck in any sharp edges. It is very easy, and again, this is haphazardly wrapped. Now I'm going to make one more charm, and I'm going to dangle it off the bead that we just wrapped. So I'm just using one bead, and we are going to wire wrap this directly onto the loop that we made on the bead that we just wrapped. So I'm doing the exact same thing, but I'm not going to complete the wrap. See, I'm going to go ahead and leave it open so I can stick that bead onto the loop that we just made on the previous bead. I'm going to hold the loop with my bent nose pliers and then go ahead and make a wrap. See, so now that bead will be attached directly to that loop on the bead that we just made. And now I'm going to go ahead and create one more chaos cluster. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. And again, I'm going to go ahead and wire wrap one bead to dangle off of the cluster that we just made. So again, we are just going to wire wrap that directly onto the loop of the last cluster that we made. And here is all the chaos clusters that we made that are going to dangle from the earring. So yes, very pretty, huh? And easy. So now we are going to go ahead and finish the earring. So I'm going to take my fabric and I'm going to cut the edges because we want it to be frayed. So I'm just going to take my scissors and just snip the edges the whole way around the wood ring where the fabric is overlapping. And then I'm going to take my tweezers and pull the fabric apart so that we can fray it. So I'm taking my tweezers and then taking my fingers and just separating the fabric to give it a nice worn frayed look. You know, I like my shabby boho jewelry, and I love using bandana scraps. Really any kind of fabric. So I'm just going to keep doing that the whole way around the ring. And again, this is definitely nothing neat. And I'm just going to continue doing this until my fabric is as shabby as I want it to look. And now I'm going to take my paintbrush and Mod Podge one more time and coat the fabric. Make sure I get the ends where it's frayed so that it doesn't continue to fray. So we want to make sure that we seal the fabric really well. Now I'm going to go ahead and attach a 12mm jump ring to the very top hole. This is the hole where the ear wire is going to connect to. And then I'm going to make one more wire wrapped charm to dangle from the top. So this is from the top jump ring. So you'll see, it's just going to be a little decorative element at the top of the earring. And now go ahead and open that top jump ring and then attach that bead that we just wrapped directly onto that jump ring. And then close your jump ring up. Make sure it's closed well because we're going to hang the ear wire from there. We don't want to lose the ear wire. And now I'm going to take a 10mm jump ring and connect it to one of the holes that we made with the drill at the bottom. So I'm putting it through that hole. And then I'm going to take one of my chaos clusters and attach it to that jump ring. And then go ahead and close the jump ring. Make sure it is closed good. And I'm going to do the exact same thing with the other two drill holes that we made. Just connecting my 10mm jump ring and then attaching chaos clusters to the jump rings. And this is how you open and close a jump ring. You just want to go up and down. And of course, make sure your jump rings are closed. See, the fabric is in the way a little bit with this one, so I kind of had to push that to the side a little bit and then fluff my fabric back out. And I'm just going to trim my fabric just a little bit, just to make it a little bit more round, just to make it just a tad bit neat. I mean, not that I want this neat because it is messy, but yeah, just to, give it a little bit of a shape. And then go ahead and fluff your fringe back out. Do it how you want to. But I like it. I think this looks cute. So now all we have to do is add our little jump ring to the ear wire. And we're going to attach that to the large jump ring. And we do need that small jump ring. Otherwise, your earring is going to hang sideways if you just connect the ear wire to the large jump ring. And there we have it, our finished amethyst chaos bloom earrings. I love how the frayed purple bandana adds so much texture, while the smoky amethyst beads and dangling chaos clusters bring movement and sparkle. Thank you so much for spending some creative time with me today. Until next time, let's keep it messy, let's keep it boho, and as always, let's keep beading. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.